So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back in another video. Let's pretend for a moment that you're only allowed to have one figure to represent each of the Star Wars films. Now, let me specify, we're only talking George Lucas's 6 films, prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. If I go beyond that and it gets a little messy, then you've got all the Disney Plus shows, and then we're talking about 20 different figures. So we're going to keep it simple, keep it to the things that I feel are the most important aspects of Star Wars, and talk about the 6 films. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the Phantom Menace, and maybe later on we'll talk about the rest of the films. Depends on how this does, depends on whether you guys like it or not. Yeah, let's get right into it. The Phantom Menace for me is nostalgia at its core. This was some of the first toys I played with as a child. I remember all of the packaging. I remember having all the toys, not knowing who they really were. I remember watching the film. That and Attack of the Clones are really nostalgic to me in that aspect. Revenge of the Sith kind of just shook me when I was 7, 8 years old. So yeah, I mean, those are deep cut memories for sure. There's one thing about the Phantom Menace that I think about when I think about that nostalgia. Darth Maul. Darth Maul was George Lucas's attempt at reinventing Darth Vader in terms of marketing strategy. I mean, that dude's face was on everything, every box, every card back, all the promotional stuff. It was Darth Maul and Jar Jar. We know how Jar Jar ended up. Darth Maul for me is like a tier 1 character. I mean, he's like up there with the greats, in my opinion. Yeah, he really isn't a character until later on with the Clone Wars, depending on how you feel about that. But I mean, just at what he represents, I mean, he's like Sisyphus. He's always, he can never get ahead. Stone's always rolling backwards on him. He is, I mean, it's in his name, Darth Maul. He is a tool, he is a weapon, and that's all he's ever meant to be. So for me, yeah, pretty much that's the only Phantom Menace figure I have, and I'm happy with it. I don't need any more figures. Yeah, Padawan Obi-Wan would be cool. A Qui-Gon would be cool. But, I mean, if we're talking like one and done, I think Darth Maul is essential to your collection. If you're a fan of the Phantom Menace, if you're a fan of the prequels, especially now that 2.0 is out, I mean, it's remarkable. I'm blown away. I never owned the DX16 or 17. At the time, I had Clone Wars Maul. Never really felt compelled. But man, even when this figure was announced, the comparisons were night and day. And to think, I didn't even think that the DX16/17 needed an update, but boy, was I wrong. Let me know what your one figure representation of the Phantom Menace would be. I think a lot of us are going to agree that it's probably Darth Maul. Hey, if you're hoping for that Jar Jar to get announced, fingers crossed for you, because ironically, I think Jar Jar would sell. I mean, I never hated Jar Jar as a kid because, of course, I was a kid. I could see, had I been 10 years older, I wouldn't have liked him. And even now when I watch him, I'm like, dude, what were you thinking, George? But, as a deep cut, as part of your nostalgia, I think Jar Jar is pretty awesome. Let me know, what is your one figure representation for the Phantom Menace? And maybe next week, we'll talk about Attack of the Clones. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, see you on the next one.